My name is Vincent Jones. You see this game right here? I attended it a few weeks back. This is the story, from my father's point of view, of how we made it to this game.
Hi, I'm Ron Jones. I'm Vincent's dad. I graduated from West Virginia University in 1986, and I had an aerospace engineering degree. I spent a lot of time on the Evansdale campus. That's where the engineering school was. That's where my dorms were. So during my time at WVU, I got to see a lot of great football games. It was a brand new stadium back then. They had moved from an old stadium in the downtown area to the new campus, the Evansdale campus, between the College of Law and the hospital. And I got to see a lot of games. I got to see us really beat a lot of good teams. We beat Pitt, we beat Penn State, we beat Boston College. Doug Flutie.
Man, we gotta go. We're gonna be late. We don't have time for your ramblings, man.
Okay, alright. Sorry about that. So we started going to a lot more games after COVID. I have a high school friend who has a couple of daughters that started going to WVU. So they bought season tickets. So we started going and meeting them quite a bit. And they do a lot of tailgating, so it's a lot of fun to meet them at the tailgate and have a good time. So the schedule comes out in the middle of the summer. And they usually sell season tickets first. But you know when the schedule comes out, so it's a good time to buy the hotel. In previous years, we had been staying in Morgantown. But over the last few years, the prices of hotels during the games have been skyrocketing. So we decided this year to try a hotel about 40 miles north into Pennsylvania. It was a small little village, and Vivi helped me pick the hotel, my wife. So a few weeks later, they finally opened up the single game tickets, and we bought some tickets for the Oklahoma State game in the fall in September. So it's still a pretty warm month, but it was into the fall. So the kickoff times are controlled by the networks. So you could get a noon kickoff, it could be a little later in the afternoon, or it could be an evening game. So you don't get to know the kickoff time till about 12 or 6 days before the game. Sometimes they hold you all the way to 6 days. And it's important to know the kickoff time because it kind of helps you decide when you're heading to the game, when you're coming home. Our kickoff time ended up being 7 at night. So it was good early on. We didn't have to leave too early. We just had a late night drive to get back to the hotel. So we decided that all three of us were going to go to the game. So it was going to be my wife, Vivian, my son, Vincent, and I. And only two of us were going to go to the game. Most likely it was going to be Vincent, and Vivi was going to have to figure out what she was going to do with the game.
Hi, my name is Vivian Jones and I am Vincent's mom. I was part of choosing the hotel and providing for the tailgate. They asked me to bring vegetable and fruit tray. It will be fun to spend time with our friends, but I was not sure what I will do during the 3 hours football game.
About a week or two before the game, they announced the kickoff time. It was an evening game. A few weeks before the game, they send you the parking pass. So now, this year in 23, they actually send it to you in email. It's just a PDF that you have to download and print. So you can see this tells you the game you're going to, and it has a code on there to scan. In previous years, they actually gave you a card that you hung on your mirror. This year they're going a little cheaper with just a piece of paper. They still scan it when you come into the parking lot. Either way, the parking is one of the better deals at the games. It's one of the most cheapest things. The price hasn't gone up over the years. So I love it. I really enjoy the tailgating. About a week before the game, we start looking for everything we're going to take. We took a canopy, folding chairs, a folding table, a big cooler for the beverages, especially the adult beverages, and a small cooler for the fruit and veggie plate. We also have luggage with clothes for the game. It was forecasted to be in the 70s for the evening, with a chance of showers, so we were going to bring ponchos. On Friday evening before the game, we started out in the afternoon for our about 4-hour drive and 200-mile trek from our house up to Chalk Hill. So we start out going to the west through Warrenton, Front Royal, up through Winchester, cross into West Virginia, turn to the left, cut through Paw Paw, come up into the town of Cumberland, travel through Frostburg, Grantsville, go into Pennsylvania, up on Route 40, up to Chalk Hill. The next morning we depart at 11 o'clock and we had to drive about 30-40 minutes from Chalk Hill down to Morgantown. As soon as we arrive at the green lot, we find a parking spot near our friends and we start setting up the canopy, the table, and the chairs. The canopy is bulky and cumbersome, but it goes up fairly quickly with a little help from the family.
We reenacted the scene and the next scene from my home. I sped up the canopy scene 4 times faster just to save time. I was excited to mingle with the crowd. It was a surprisingly warm day with lots of sun.
Let's go Mountaineers! So we leave the parking lot where the mouse is. We walk up to the other end of the parking lot. We take a trail up a hill, past the fire department. We cross over the highway. We cross over the railroad tracks, which is really the PRT. We take the walkway down the hill around the main parking lot up to the stadium. And then you have to take a walk up the hill to get to the side entrance of the stadium. Vincent and I settle into our seats. The pregame is a big show with the band performing, videos on the scoreboards, and the crowd cheering. Then the players come onto the field, led by the cheerleaders. Finally, we get to watch the game. The game starts out very competitive with both teams scoring, but then we start to see the weather warnings. We managed to avoid the weather all day and for almost half of the game, but then we see this message on the scoreboard. It was only lightning, no rain. I'm not sure if it ever rained. The game stops and they clear the seats. We checked with our friends and they were heading home to Pennsylvania. So we just headed back to the green lot on the same path we used earlier to our car, where Vivi was sitting, waiting. We could have sat in the car and waited for the game to resume, but we decided to head back home to the hotel and call it a night. The next day we found the game had resumed 2 hours later and West Virginia won easily. After a leisurely breakfast, we drove back home after an enjoyable weekend.
So how did you guys enjoy the game?
It was a lot of fun. I really did. I enjoyed it.
I did not enjoy it, but I did find out somewhere to spend a few hours. I went to a restaurant and I came back to the car when I figured out that there was a storm coming and there was a lot of thunders.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I got to talk to a couple new people. I introduced myself to a couple new people and play some games for a little bit, like beer pong, cornhole, and yeah, a lot of stuff like that.
Did you like the food? Not my vegetables.
Yeah.
They were a disaster. Nobody ate them.
Of course, I like the food.
So I would say the tailgate was a lot of fun, but the game, we had to leave early.
Yeah.
We didn't get to sing. It was a victory, so we would have been able to sing at the end. We didn't get to do that. But we did see about half the game before we left for the weather delay. So not much we could do about that because there was nowhere to go. Everybody pretty much left other than that small group of people. So it was still a good time, and we made a lot of planning, and we did well, but we still got foiled by the weather. We never expected thunder and lightning to keep us from staying at the game.